Hi guys. Uh Welcome back to Adulting but Not Really with your host, Lucia Medina. I actually don't know why I said that again because I listened to the happiness one and I cringed at myself when I heard that. So hopefully it wasn't as cringy this time. If not, then oh well. Now I know for next episode. And then I'll make the same mistake the next episode. Anyways, so hi guys, welcome back. I am a little bit tired. I think my body is giving up. I genuinely think I fell asleep at 11 p.m. last night, which is not normal. That is, I was fully reading and I fell asleep with the book on my face. And you know what? That's okay. That's fine. That just means that was a really good, relaxing book. But yeah, I fell asleep doing that. That was fun. That was exciting. I woke up and I was like, what happened? Thank God I was in my PJs. I have fallen asleep before. I was in my bed reading and I fully fell asleep on my jeans. And I woke up the next morning and I was like, why am I in jeans? Anyways, so back to the point. Today's episode, we're going to be going into productivity, which is a topic. I always start the episodes like this, but I swear I like to talk about things that I have experience with, or that I think I've gotten really good at, or that I've had really good conversations with my friends. So it makes sense that I always start the episodes like this. But productivity is something that has literally been my personality trait for so long. Actually, if I'm not productive, it feels like I'm losing a part of me. Is that a healthy thing? Maybe not. Maybe I should check myself. Maybe that is not the most healthy thing for me to be putting that as my personality trait, because then I might be putting on this weight on me that I should always be productive, when that's not really healthy. I shouldn't always be productive. Sometimes but you can really define productivity in many ways. Productivity doesn't always mean that you have to be doing stuff all the time, that you have to be working towards a goal, that you have to be achieving something. Productivity can also be like, I'm being productive for my health today. I'm taking a day off. I am going to be reading in bed. I'm going to be watching a show, a movie that is productive to my health. So maybe productivity can be dispersed into multiple different categories, and it doesn't always have to be career-wise or work-wise or anything of that sort. It can also go into health-wise and mental health-wise. I like to think that everything that I do in my life is quote-unquote productive towards something positive for myself or for others around me. Wow, I really went on a tangent there. Look at me go. No, but really, I actually do consider myself a very productive person, even if I don't sometimes. But for example, lately I've been feeling really guilty because I just started doing my coding course now, and I told myself that I was going to start winter break. It's February 22nd. I started it yesterday. I did spend like 3 hours yesterday sitting in this table doing it nonstop, which was really good because I got to go on top of everything. And I think I did coding last year, and I did kind of like an internship this summer in Madrid where I coded with AI and all of that. And I really like it. I really got into it. I also did a online hardware course, like a basic CS50 coding course from like Harvard Online, and I'm starting to do my computer science minor in 2 weeks and a half. I started, and I'm literally gonna get my minor in about the next like 5 months, because I'm gonna be doing the first part of my minor the next 2 months, and then I go to Boston and I'm taking my last courses for my computer science minor until June 21st. So I'm actually in Miami only for 4 days in the next like 5 months, which, if you would have talked to a year ago, Lucia, she would have literally been in shambles, crying and being like, I want to be in Miami. But now I'm like, I would like to avoid Miami at all costs, but not really. Like, I'm excited for after June 21st to be in Miami for like a month. I am getting my U.S. citizenship this summer, and they are not letting me leave the country throughout that process of me having to take the exam and me having to do all of that. But they did tell me that the process is more speedy and faster than we think. So hopefully by late July, beginning of August, I'm able to leave the country, and I would love to go to Spain for the rest of the summer and just go directly from there to London. So maybe, hopefully, just like a cool, chill month in Miami. But right now it's looking like I'm going to be doing my computer science minor in Boston, a month in Miami, and hopefully I go to Spain, to like south of Spain, or I go to Canarias for a month. That would actually, I mean, half my friends are in Spain. It would be super cool to go visit my friends in like Madrid, Barcelona, go to the south of Spain, go to Cadiz, go to Canarias for like a month. I want to go island hopping. I think if I told Agnes right now, like, Agnes, we're going island hopping in the Canary Islands in August, she would 100% be like, I'm down, let's do it, let's book it right now. She said, I love having friends that are so open to anything that they would be like, yes, let's do it, you know? It doesn't matter. She's one of those friends that if you tell her we're going to go horseback riding tomorrow, she'll be like, okay, tell me the time, the place, I'll be there. I love that. I love having friends like that. I think Alicia also told me that I'm that friend too. Like, she'll be like, let's go this weekend to like Madrid, and I'll be like, yeah, duh, let's do it. Obviously there's been times that I have to back off because, you know, I'm not unlimited in money, so I have to save up. But when I do travel, and I am making an episode about this, actually I'm filming 2 episodes this week because I have the next 3 weeks are intense. I might make an episode with my friend Mariana, but the next 3 weeks are insane. In 3 days, my friend Fran from Miami is coming to visit me for 5 days. Then I have 1 weekend in London off. Then, like 3 days after, my friend Mariana gets here. And then a day after, my friend Diego gets here. And then it's the 2 of them at the same time visiting me. And then I go to Paris with them for 2 days. And then we're going to go to Oxford. And then after they leave, I have 3 days in London. And then I go to Belgium for my friend's birthday, which he invited all of us to his house in Belgium, and we're gonna go for like 5 days to Belgium. And then 2 weeks later, I'm in Canarias visiting my grandma, and then I might go to Barcelona at some point because Agnes invited me. I'm also starting to get sick. I am all over the place, which is fun, but I'm also like, I was sitting in bed yesterday before I started reading, and I literally just laid there and I looked at the ceiling and I was like, man, sometimes I wish I could just lay here. Sometimes I wish I could just like stay in London for like 2 months, not do anything, not go anywhere, just like have a relaxing lifestyle. But then I think about it, and one of the things that I've implemented in my life that my friend Alberto makes fun of me all the time, but he loves it, so whatever. It's the phrase of like, do it for the plot. Think about it. When I am old, I've said this in another episode, but when I'm old and telling my kids, well, no, not old, I don't want to have my kids old, but when I'm, you know, in my moment and I'm telling my kids about like my college years, I don't want to be like, yeah, I don't have much to tell you. I want to be like, yeah, no, I actually like, sit down, this is a good one. Like, I have so much to tell you. There's so much happened. I don't know. It might be too early, but I'm already planning my graduation trip, and I want to start saving up now because I want to do a month of surf camp in Bali, and then when I go backpacking through all of Asia. I do have friends from there that have told me that I could stay at their house, so that could be a cool way to save money halfway through the trip. But like, I just have to go to Asia. I have to see that. Anyways, back to productivity. See, this is my wheels start turning, and there's no stopping, Lucia. There's really no stopping. It just keeps going. So I would like to say that, and this is not me like forcing anyone to download this, but if there's one reason why I'm always productive, is because of my Notion. My Notion is part of me. It's attached to me. First thing I open in the morning, Notion. What do I have on my phone, iPad, computer? Every single device that I own is the Notion app. It's amazing. It keeps me in check. I have my finances there where I calculate all my finances. I have my calendar there, my like monthly calendar, then I have my weekly calendar. Every Sunday I sit down. Every Sunday, and if I'm traveling, I do it Monday morning. Like, I would literally wake up, I do my calendar for the week, and then I go on a run. Like, I can't do that. I can't actually start anything of the week without my weekly calendar being in check, because I like to visualize and see for myself like what's going on this week, what days can I film what days can I like what times, what days do I have free for people that like maybe want to go out to dinner, or like people that want to get drinks, or that people that like literally just want to hang out with me, because I love prioritizing my friends. But also like what times will I be working, what times do I have to go to school, do I have any projects due, do I have any tests, do I have anything that I need to like prioritize. I like to set that up at the beginning of the week. And if it wasn't for my planner, it's absolutely, I love my Notion like setup. I have like a beautiful painting of Venice, and like my cover, I'll insert a picture on the screen just because if you're watching a visual, because it's just that beautiful. I'm like so obsessed with my Notion, it's insane. I've had Notion since halfway through high school, and I swear to God, it got my shit together. It really did. If it wasn't for my Notion and me, I would not be alive right now. I don't know how I would be doing half my stuff. I literally have an entire section for my life plan. Like I have like a little section called life plan, in which I have like places that I'm gonna be living in, what type of jobs I want, future summer houses for like my 30s. It's actually insane how much I've like, obviously this is bound to change. Like for example, everything changed. Like 2 weeks ago I started changing it a little bit. For graduation I changed the thing. I think it was like Australia, but now I changed it to Bali and like travel backpacking through Asia. Then instead of 1 gap year, I put 2 gap years, and then I did my master's, and then I put Mexico City. Before it was like a full year, but now I changed it to like summer in Mexico City. Like just move to Mexico City for summer, either do a volunteering there or like get a part-time job, like something. My uncle and my aunt's from Mexico City, and like my uncle lives in Mexico, and like I've had so many friends from Mexico, and I just feel like I've been to Mexico multiple times. I've been to Acapulco, Ixtapa, Mexico City, but like I feel like I have to fully live there for like 4 months. I don't know why. I have this calling and I have to move there for like 4 months. It literally just 4 months. I'll be satisfied. That'll be it. Then I put Australia, like Melbourne at some point. It literally says if I'm feeling funky, go to Melbourne. I don't know in what timeline that will work, but that's just there. It's just there. Let's see if it happens or not. Maybe it'll be like Mexico, where like I go for a summer for like a volunteering. I'll go teach like Spanish or something for like 4 months. Like we don't know what's gonna happen, but that's in the plan of like possibilities of places to go for like short-term living. And then I have for like, it's so funny, I literally says long-term living, like when I have like my family, it says either if I want to stay in the US, which like the chances are getting lower and lower and lower as time goes on right now, it says only La Jolla, San Diego, California. That place is like heaven. I can't explain it. You have to see it for yourself. It's the perfect place on earth in the US that I've been to 48 states. As a person that has been to 48 states, I can tell you my favorite part of the US for living that I saw as most long-term livable, and where I saw a lot of happy families, and just like I could see myself living a really happy, healthy, long-term life, is La Jolla in San Diego, California. It's just like a cute beach surfing town, but like an hour away from LA. So if you wanna get like a big corporate job, you have that too. And then if not, then you can just stay in your cute little beach surfing town. Everybody looks happy. I don't know, there's a lot of Spanish speakers because it's next to the border with Mexico, so like that's also really fun and exciting. If I have kids, I want to teach them. I'm obviously going to teach them Spanish, but like it helps out, you know what I mean? I don't know. And then if I don't stay in the US, it just literally says, I'm not kidding, somewhere in Europe. We don't know where. It just says somewhere in Europe. Somewhere in Europe. We have no preference at this point. We have no preference on where in Europe. And then for summer house, it's either the Canary Islands, or if I'm in why do I have like a hair in my mouth? If I'm somewhere in Europe, summer house in the Canary Islands. And if I end up in San Diego, it says Ixtapa, Mexico. I love Ixtapa. It's beautiful. So yeah, that's my life plan. If you were wondering, right now that's my life plan. Will it change? 100% it would change. Does it look like I'm gonna end up in Melbourne? No, honestly, no. I don't know. As a person who's literally had, I saw a spider once in my shower here, and I had to call my friend Pablo because I couldn't do it. It was like a daddy long legs, so it wasn't even, it couldn't do anything to me. But I saw it, I screamed really loudly, realized that if something actually happens to me in this apartment, nobody would come help me because I've never screamed that loud in my life, and I screamed loud. Yeah, so my friend Pablo had to kill it, but he was laughing at me the entire time. He was like, Lucia, what the fuck? I was like, sorry, I just literally cannot deal with spiders, my worst fear. So maybe Australia is just not for me. We will see though, we will see. Anyways, back to productivity. So yeah, Notion. Without Notion, I would not be productive, quote unquote, because I do more short-term goals than long-term goals. Like, the life plan is a long-term goal, but is it really? I know it's flexible. I am okay with the fact that it is flexible and it is bound to change. My life plan, if I had written a life plan a year ago, completely different. Oh, trust me. Oh my God, I would have been atrocious to look at now. It's accepting the fact that long-term goals are bound to change, are bound to be flexible, and understand that is the beauty of life, that long-term plans are going to change. But short-term, putting little goals short-term is the best thing that you can do for yourself. For example, for applying for internships, I was really stressed. I was like, I need to apply to this many internships today. And then I literally thought about it, and I didn't want to do it at all. I didn't want to sit down and apply for the internships because I thought it's going to take a long time. It's going to kill me. It takes literally almost an hour to apply to one because they ask so many questions and stuff. And then the minute that I literally sat down and I split it, I was like 2 or 3 a day. 2 or 3 a day. Every single day I was applying to 2 or 3 internships, and it worked out perfectly fine because I wanted to sit down and do it, because I knew that it wouldn't take that long. I knew that it was just 2 and I'm done for the day, and I knew that the next day I will do another 2, and it was perfect. And that's how I took accountability, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it, but little by little, because then I'm not stressing myself out. I'm not gonna be sitting here for 5 hours doing that, burning my brain and being like, I'm not gonna ever do this again because this is annoying to do. Knowing that you can do it step by step, and that's fine. And this is what I do with projects. When I have projects, and I think this is why my teams don't like me, because a lot of people at uni don't work like this. But when I'm giving projects, what I do is that I sit down everyone and I'm like, okay, let's make a calendar. Let's put a draft date. Let's put a date that we're all gonna look through it, and let's do a date that we're gonna prepare our presentation, like 3 days before presentation day, so we can know what we have to change, any last minute changes. What if we have to restart the whole thing again? Because sometimes life happens. Sometimes we read the text wrong. Hopefully this has only happened to me once, but sometimes you mess up and you have to start all over again. It's better to start 3 days before the deadline than the night before, when you realize that you did something wrong and then the whole presentation is wrong. So a lot of people don't work this way, and that's fine. It's that's the beauty of team working, that you get to understand how other people work and you get to work with it, and then you have to complement each other's work styles, which honestly I've only had a problem once, but the rest have been super good at it. And most of the people that I work with are quote unquote procrastinators. They get their shit done and they get it and they do it really well, but they like to do it all last minute, which works for them, but it just doesn't work for me. But I've learned to chillax and let them do their thing and trust the process and trust that they'll get it done when they have the time to, and they're going to do it great because, I trust them fully. I just have to trust. And for example, there's not only productivity not only just goes towards life goals and towards in uni and career goals, it also works towards fitness goals. For running, for example, my friend Larissa the other day came running with me, and I've been running for quite a while. I'm not an expert, but I do run more than a regular person that has just started running runs. And I hadn't noticed that I run fast until I started running with my friends. I think this is why I never make it super, super, super duper far. The max I've done is 6 miles a day. And that's good. I'm not gonna lie. I should be proud of myself for that. But it's not super, 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 super far. I know friends that run more than that. But I think it's because instead of going slow and taking my time with it and focusing on endurance, I don't focus on speed. It just happens that I put like a really good song, and like I'll be feeling a lot of emotions that day, and I'll just run it out, and I'll go super fast, and I'll tire myself out. I'm working on that little by little, but it's a work in progress. Anyway, so my friend Larissa came running with me, and after like a minute, she was dying. She felt guilty. She was like, Lucia, like I it's my first day running. Like, I can't do this. And I was like, no, it's fine. Like, we'll take it one step at a time. Like, we'll run for a minute, and then we'll chill for 3, and then we'll run again for another minute. Like, you got this. It's little by little. And I was explaining to her, and I realized this when I started running, is that it's all about one, accountability, making sure that you wake up every day and you do it. And after 2 weeks, I can promise you, if you start a habit today, in 2 weeks it'll stick. If you force yourself for 2 weeks to do it, I can promise you're going to be able to do it every single day. I've gotten to a point that I feel guilty if I don't go running. Obviously, I take my days off. Yesterday I had a day off because my leg did not feel too good, not gonna lie, and I was just exhausted. And it's good to rest, because when I do rest, I notice that the days after resting, I actually run better and longer. So I do know that resting is productive. Look at me go. Resting is productive to my long-term goal of running longer than normal. Hopefully that makes sense. Bro, my throat is not working with me today. Anyways. So for me, if I were to say like how I am productive, quote unquote, how I'm able to do so many things throughout my day, I set up a goal for the week. For example, every single morning in my planner for my weekly calendar, it's my morning run, and then I journal, and then I read. I have all those checklists. Once I've done that on my checklist, then I go to working. I sit down and I work. I've honestly noticed, and I don't know why this happens to me. I think it's because after my run, I'm super tired, and I've actually started to run after I do work in the morning, that if I wake up, I make a cup of coffee, and I'm still in my PJs, and I sit down on this desk, because I cannot work on my bed. I'm actually never in my room. You can ask my roommate. I'm never in my room. I only go to sleep in my room, and I change. Like, that's it. I'm never in my room. I'm always in the living room. I'm always on the second floor of the house, because I'm always working in the dining table. If I watch TV, I watch it, like I'll connect my iPad to the TV and I'll be watching like Netflix there, but I'm never watching Netflix in my bed. And this is super interesting, because actually in Miami, I was in my bed all the time. I would read in my bed, I watched TV in my bed, but I've always had a habit of working on a table. I can't physically work in a bed. It just doesn't work for me. I'll get distracted super easily. It's too comfortable in there. So what I do is every single morning I do that. Then I go on my run. Anyways, back to the point. I literally just noticed that I completely skipped over the part of like I am more productive when I'm in my PJs. I don't know why. I'll sit here in my PJs. I'll sit here in the dining room, and I'll just work. And something about my morning, I'm always the most productive with my mornings. And this is why I like to wake up early on purpose. Do I have class at 4 p.m.? Yes, I do. Do I still wake up at 7 a.m.? Hell yeah. Do I enjoy it? Sometimes I do. But most of the time I don't. I can promise you that. I literally set an alarm and I force myself to go out. I slick back my hair because I have like kind of bangs. I slick back my hair. I go my morning run. And after my morning run, I feel like I can do anything. So I'll shower. Sometimes actually showering makes me more lazy because I'm like relaxed. So sometimes I won't even shower right after my run. I'll like sit here. I'll have breakfast and I'll start working. I'll do either a project for the week. I'll either edit one of the podcasts. I'll either take notes for a presentation that I didn't really understand, or I'll do my coding exercises, or I'll read, or I'll respond to some emails, or like anything. I'll literally do anything that I have to do in the morning that I have to get out of the way, because I have my weekly schedule of like what do I need to get done for the day, and I'll do that. And it honestly, like, it keeps me in check, because if I don't check something out of the box of what I put for the day, I feel so guilty. So I'll move it for the next day, and that'll be my top priority for the next morning. So I literally do that every single freaking morning. And then after I do that, then I'll go shower. And after showering, I'll like quote unquote reward myself with either watching 1 or 2 YouTube videos while I scroll through Pinterest, or I'll watch an episode. I don't ever watch movies in the morning. If I watch a movie in the morning, I'll like slum. I don't know if that makes sense. I'll just slum. I won't want to do anything. I'll only want to watch that. Like, my brain will be shut down, and then I can't work after. Like, I'll be in class, but my brain's just not working. So I never watch movies unless it's at night after class. I'm really lucky that I think about it this way. I really like my afternoon classes because it gives me time in the morning to do all my productive stuff. It gives me time in the morning to get work done. So what I do is I set myself, and I also did this. It's so interesting. Okay, wait, I'm actually really want to get into this. My working style is so interesting. When I was a kid, throughout my entire life, Saturdays were for working and Sundays were for resting. But wait, that makes sense. But stay with me. It's so interesting because I would always high school in Miami finishes at 3. Well, my high school finished at 3:15 p.m. I would get home around 4 p.m. The minute the bell rang on Friday, it didn't matter if I had a project on Monday. It didn't matter anything. I promised myself. I actually have a video of like day in the life when I was in high school. It's privated on YouTube. But if you watched that video before I privated it, I'm guessing this is like one of the many people watching this, hopefully. At 3:15 p.m., my brain was shut down. I would not let myself work. I did everything in my power to do any assignment due that night already by 3:15 p.m. Anything. I will not let myself work. My brain was shut down for good because I'd overworked it the entire week. Because if you've listened to the other episodes, I talked about how I had a quiz every single day. I had a test every single day. I had so many assignments. Like, my high school was super strict, was super hardcore. And I willingly took a lot of really hardcore classes. I think I only had one quote unquote chill class for like the last 2 years of high school. I always had, all of them were either A level or APs. So I was on top of my shit, which, like, good for me. But, like, at least I had my little routine. This is why I don't think I ever burnt out in high school. It's because after 3:15 p.m. on Friday, brain shut down. I would come home, and I actually loved my routine on Fridays because I would come home, and Fridays, at the time I had a boyfriend, and we were kind of like mid-distance. Not really. We lived like an hour away, but I had like set boundaries. I was like, I'm going to focus on school throughout the week. I'm not going to see you throughout the week. I'm not going to drive 2 hours of my day because it's an hour there and then an hour back. I'm not going to drive an hour to go see you. I was like, I had a job. I'm going to walk dogs right after school. I'm going to do my homework. I'm going to, like, every single day at 9 p.m., it didn't matter if I still had something, unless it was due that night, which I never, ever, ever left anything for the day that it was due. I was so productive. Look at me. I was always doing things right before they were due. Not like days before they were due. I would watch YouTube. I would have like a snack because we had breakfast at we had lunch, quote unquote, in high school at like 12, sometimes 11 a.m. So by 4 p.m., which is the time that I get home because of traffic, I would be starving. So I would have like a little meal while I watch YouTube or like a show. And then I would get in the car and I would go see my boyfriend at the time, or he would come visit me, or I would go pick up my friends. He would go do something with his friends, Like, Fridays, I would always see him either in a group setting with my friends so I could also spend time with my friends, or I would go over to his house and would have a chill night at his house, or he would come over. Like, one of the two. I would always see him on Fridays. Saturday mornings were my shit. Oh my god, I love Saturday mornings. I would always wake up super early. I literally have a video of me dancing in my room at 8 a.m. being like, guys, I did all my morning stuff. I love Saturday mornings. Because my Saturday mornings consisted, and this is why I hated sleepovers. I low-key did not enjoy sleeping over at my boyfriend's house at the time, and not because I didn't like him and his house and his family. I loved his family and I loved his house. It was because I liked having my routine. I liked doing my stuff. Saturday morning, I would wake up. I would walk dogs from like 8 a.m. to like 12 p.m. if I had dogs that morning. If not, I would go on a run. Anyways, I would walk dogs or I would do homework, something until like 12 p.m. And then after 12 p.m., I would be doing homework. And at 2 or 3 p.m., which is when my family eats, is when I'll stop doing homework. And then it's back to brain shutdown time. It would be actually amazing. Wow. And then my brain would not turn back on until Monday morning at 6 a.m. when I woke up for school. And I think this is why I kept such a good balance with my friendships, my boyfriend at the time, and also like school. It's because I always prioritize my friends and my boyfriend Friday is Saturday afternoon/night. Sunday was me day. Even though I didn't see my boyfriend throughout the week, even though I technically had the full weekend to see him after not seeing him for the entire week, I literally told myself, Sunday is me day. I don't care if I only see him 2 times over the week. I'm gonna be by myself. What do you mean? Like, yes, some Sundays I did spend with him, like I think 2 or 3 total, because I don't know, maybe that Friday I couldn't see him because it's something that I had, or like my job or something. But most Sundays I willingly stayed at home by myself. I remember I would go to the beach with my friends maybe in the morning for like an hour, and then I would go home and I would read. I would lay in bed all day. I would rot all day, but like in a good way, you know? I loved it. I love rotting in bed on Sundays because my brain needed that break so we can kick it for the next week. I had so much to do throughout the school week, and I would be so stressed. I would be so anxious. I would have so many tests, so many assignments, that I knew that as long as I pushed myself, Friday night and Friday afternoon, my brain is not going to be working. I'm going to be having the time of my life doing whatever I wanted to do. I would be chilling. Saturday morning, yeah, a little push until 2 p.m. And then after 2 p.m., boom, over. Back to reality. Back to having fun with my friends. Back to doing whatever I wanted with my life. And then Sunday, it was me day. I didn't have to put any work into anyone. I didn't have to work in school. It was just Lucia. What does Lucia want to do? Lucia wants to rot in bed all day. Lucia's gonna rot in bed all day. Monday morning, wake up, back to business. I was on top of my shit in high school, and I think it's why it works so well during college, because I do my mornings like that. I like to think every single day as like a Saturday. I know that makes sense. Like my days in college feel like a Saturday, because like back in high school, because I wake up, I go on a run, I journal, I do work until like lunchtime. Then I have lunch. I have class at 4 p.m. So I'll have lunch at like 1 or 2. And then after that, I'll watch like one episode. Or I'll watch YouTube for like 30 to 40 minutes. And then I go to school. I do school from 4 p.m. to like 7 p.m. Come back. Maybe I'll either hang out with a friend, or Brent will come. I'm teaching him Spanish, so Brent will come here, or I'll go to his apartment. Like we'll do Spanish together. I'll teach him some Spanish. Maybe I'll go out to dinner with some friends, or I'll go grab a drink with a friend. And if I don't have anything that day, I'll come home. If I have an assignment, I'll do the assignment for like an hour. But I know by 8 p.m., my brain's shutting down. I'm going to be on that couch watching Gossip Girl or The Office. I'm rewatching The Office again. Or The Office. Or I'll watch a YouTube video. Or like I'll read. Yesterday I was reading for like 3 hours. Like something that just relaxes me. And I think that's why I have a really good work-life balance. Because I know that in the morning I'm getting my shit together. I'm doing something for my health. I'll go do a workout. And then I'll work the entire morning until like 2 or 3 p.m. Then I'll go to class. And then after class, after 7 p.m., I'm just shutting my brain down. And it works perfectly fine because I'm a very productive morning person. So I'll do everything in the morning. I'll apply to jobs in the morning. I'll do my coding course. Then I'll go to school. Then I'll do this. Then I'll do that. And then after 7 p.m., boom, done. Brain's over. I'm done. I'm out. You're not seeing me. And if you see me, my brain's out. My brain's not working anymore. Like, will you get funny, Lucia? You will get funny, Lucia, because Lucia is not working anymore. Her brain's just not functioning. Okay, well, I am so confused on how this episode went. I am very sick. I'm starting to get sick. I'm about to take a medicine after this. My throat is starting to kill me, and I just started getting really, really sick. Oh my god, this is so bad. I literally felt the sickness get worse throughout this episode. But hope you guys enjoyed. Hope it makes sense. I feel like it was all over the place, but that's, you know what, it's okay. It's my sick brain being sick, and that will be the fun and exciting part of it. But yeah, hope you guys have a great week. I'll see you guys next week. Peace out.